I'm Lisa, and I'm the mom half of this duo.
And I'm Shada. I'm Lisa's daughter. And welcome to Two Peas in a Plot, our little corner of the internet where we talk all things books.
We read across genres and love everything from underrated gems to longtime favorites.
And just a quick heads up while we try to avoid spoilers, we do talk about what we liked or didn't. So there might be a few light spoilers along the way just to give you some context.
So if you love stories and want to grow your TBR, hit that subscribe button and join the plot. Hello, everyone. Today we have a adorable book. I saw the cover. I do like covers, but I fell for this one. It's called The Undead Fox of Deadwood Forest by Aubrey Hartman, and I'm not sure when this was published. It's 2025. So anyway, this book came across. I'm not one to seek out. I think this is a middle grade, not even a YA, but I just love the cover. It was so cute. The title just was what? The Undead Fox of Deadwood Forest, and I thought this can't be too upsetting if it's set for middle grade kids, but it it deals with death. I will say that, but it was in such a lovely way, and it was so not happy is the word I want to say, but because I can't think of another word. This fox is undead, and he's the usher of the people who are trying to find their way into these four doors that I can't remember all of them. I think pain, pleasure, and then there's two more. And so he talks to him and sets them on their way. Well, then he meets this badger, Gingersnipes. And Gingersnipes, he sets Gingersnipes on the way, and Gingersnipes keeps coming back because Gingersnipes, I don't know if he can't find the door or he's being rejected because evidently if you go through the wrong door, you can be brought back and, guided to the correct door to
So
go.
so wait,
Hmm.
just to be clear, these are
Yeah,
he's guiding animal spirits. So
correct.
they've already passed on, but he's trying to guide their spirits to where they need to go.
They don't really say that. I mean, yes, for a simpler term, I'm going to say spirit, but you can see them. They don't act like a ghost or anything.
Oh, okay.
Um,
But I mean,
at least to the usher, at
yeah,
least to the
well,
usher
he's
of
a
Deadwood.
spirit himself, right? He's undead. He's
Right. But
yeah.
because of the afterlife allows him certain specialties, is all I can say. It is a very hard book for me to describe, I will say that. Um, because I tend to not, when I read a book, I'm not as detailed in certain areas as I am the whole story in a whole. So my unfortunate way of talking is I can't be so specific because to me I didn't get that in the book that they're a spirit, but yeah, they're in between the two worlds, I guess, of being dead and being a spirit, I guess. This is the adventure of the fox, who is Claire, and Gingersnipes. And Badger tries to get Gingersnipes through one of these doors. They also meet a human family at Hallows Eve. And I really don't want to get too detailed because it spoils to me it would spoil the adventure of Gingersnipes and Badger, and I'm sorry, Gingersnipes the badger and Claire the fox, who's the usher. And it's giving away why Gingersnipes can't go to one of these doors. But it's just a lovely book. I don't, Shada, I was curious, would you have read this? What is middle grade? What age
So
group is that?
middle grade is roughly like ages 9 to 12. It's like, yeah, older than elementary. And there's always kind of so one of the first novels the novel that got closest to traditional publication of
Hmm.
mine was a middle grade novel, but I picked the weirdest. I picked like a 12 to 14-year-old, so I'd call it upper middle grade.
Hmm.
That is like the worst age group there's no crossover there, 12 to 14. So
Yeah.
that's a little bit too old for middle grade. So like core middle grade, I think is like ages 9 to 12 or
Okay.
8, maybe a little bit too young, but between 8 and 12 and 9 and 12. Um, and then YA is kind of roughly 12 and up. But
Yeah.
but there's a lot of, because I think just the nature of growing up, especially in that, in adolescence and childhood, there are lots of variations, and like some middle grade is really, really gentle, and some middle grade, I feel like it all is quite gentle, but it
Yeah.
it it can deal with, bullies at school or death, which I which is one of the things that I love about children's literature as a whole. And when I say children's literature, I'm including middle grade and YA. But that was a much longer explanation
Mm.
than you needed. But yeah, middle grade is those, I think, middle grades. So
Yeah.
roughly sixth grade. Well, I guess like fourth, fifth grade. Fourth, I think, is a little on the young side, but before high school,
maybe
essentially.
maybe if you were a mature fourth grader, or it applied like when I guess if you had an animal die in your home, your household, not in your house literally, but I mean if you're one of your a passing of your a favorite pet, I think this is a good book. Or just trying to explain when a relative passes away. And I see why they do it with animals. As with people, I think it would be harder to talk about or to have a story, but this was so sweet. I think if I was younger, I probably would have cried towards the end. I got sentimental, which was pretty close, and a runny nose, but just a sweet book. And I never really wanted to read middle grade. I mean, YA was as young as I was going to go, but when I saw the cover, I just had to try it. I just thoroughly loved it. And I liked it so much before I even read it. I got her second book, Aubrey Hartman's second book, which I think was her first book. So I'm not going to read that one right away. I kind of want to break from middle grade, but it was a lovely read. Illustrations are wonderful. There's illustrations in the book, which I don't know if that's something they do for middle grade, but
Not usually.
not usually.
That's pretty
Ex-
special. Yeah.
Extra. It was
Mhm.
just sweet. You could kind of imagine the scene that they're trying to show or to write about, and the characters what they look like. This dead undead fox, he has a monocle that he
That's
uses
so cute.
to light up a fire. It helps him. He sparks it against some, I think, stone. He wears a cape because he feels he's ugly. And there's a reason why. Later, you find out why he was left this way, or the afterlife left him this way. Um, just a sweet book. And he's not, I guess I want to say it talks about death, but it also talks about kindness and people in general and how you treat one another to me. Maybe that's my age getting out of this book. I don't know that someone younger would, but Gingersnipes is pretty sweet. Um, the the fox is sweet, but he's kind of grumpy, and he harvests mushrooms a lot. It's just a lovely story, and like I said, I don't want to talk about too much about the relationship between the two characters because I think it takes away from the book, and I want that to be special and and seeing it for the first time reading the book. But I wanted to know, would you have picked up something like this when you were that young?
I
Really?
think so,
Mm-hmm.
but weirdly, like this sounds like something I really want to read right now.
Yeah.
But I was like I was reading adult fantasy novels like beginning at like ages 8 or 9.
Mm-hmm.
So I don't think this is very specific to me and the type of kid I was at that age. I would have looked at it and been like, that's for babies. I'm gonna read
Yeah.
I'm
Right.
gonna go read Wheel of Time or something. But it absolutely sounds like something I would want to read now. And I
Yeah.
think I have really good memories of teachers reading to us in school.
Oh
So I
yeah.
feel like if, like, I wouldn't have picked it up myself because of just type of books that I gravitated towards, but I think if it had been read to me, like if I had been like a captive audience, I would have really, it sounds like I would have really loved it.
Yeah.
So,
Oh, that's interesting. This was a short review of this, and I knew I would like it. I just didn't realize how much I would like it enough
well, it's
to
good
get
you
the
did
second
because
one.
you bought the companion novel, or I don't know if it's a companion novel, but like her next novel.
Her,
So,
yep. Well, yeah, I
or her
think it's
previous
her
novel,
previous
her
novel. Yeah.
previous novel.
I forget what it's called. Yeah, it's called The Lion of Larkhaze Manor is her first book. So, yeah, I plan on reading it. Again, I kudos to the illustrator. It's just absolutely gorgeous. And I got the hardback just because I felt it would be easier to hold. The paperback looked really thick. I don't know if the font was really big. This is a lovely, just a lovely book, and I'll pass it on to you, Shada, when we see each other again.
Yeah.
And I think you'll
Yeah.
like it. It's a quick read, obviously, but I wanted to enjoy it, and so it took me maybe 2 days, 2.5 days to
And I
read.
think that's the really wonderful thing, especially about middle grade. Um, you can have these really heartfelt sounds so saccharine. That's not really the you can have
Hmm.
these really transformative, deep stories in a relatively small package, like a small, easily digestible package, but they still have a lot of depth to them. So, and
It,
that's my MFA in writing for children and young adults speaking, but but I but that's the wonderful thing about children's literature,
yeah.
especially middle grade. And I don't go out of my way to reach for a middle grade book,
Hmm. Me too.
which I feel like I should because this is a tangent, but um for my MFA program, I was reading 10 books a month. And that is a pace
Mm.
that I cannot sustain. So I was reading a lot of middle grade and a lot of YA and a smattering of picture books as well, which picture books, that is a really, really difficult medium. You have about 500 words or less to craft
A
an
story.
impactful story.
Hmm.
And then you also have to factor in illustrations. And if you aren't an author illustrator, that makes it a million times harder to get picked up. Um, but yeah, I just being able to create a story in relatively little space with usually a simpler vocabulary to appeal to that market, but still have so much depth to it. That is the magic of middle grade to me. So.
It really was. I think well, obviously I picked one up. I haven't even, before I even read this one, I'll be reading more. And they have this thing when I've seen middle grade March, people read middle
Oh, how
grade. Isn't
cool.
that
I
cool?
didn't know
Maybe
that.
yeah, I've heard of that. So maybe we can do that. I guess you can rhyme any month to anything you wanted to, but yeah, we might try that on in March. But you said something that I didn't want to give away in the book, but the fox shows, to me, it's a human trait when you don't show your best side. And he doesn't show his best side in this one situation that carries on, and it's towards Gingersnipes. Basically, he's being selfish. And I know the name Clare, but I think they refer to him as a boy. So, anyway, I think I'm saying that right. But you'll find out why. And he resolves his feelings, and it's just a lovely read. It's just more than what I'm telling you, but again, I don't want to spoil the adventure, and just know that the illustrations match the quality of the story. It's just lovely. And I think that's it for our book. It's called The Undead Fox of Deadwood Forest by Aubrey Hartman, and we appreciate you hanging out with us. Thanks for being here and talking books with us.
And if you love stories and want to grow your TBR, hit that subscribe button and join the plot with us. And we'll see you in the next chapter. Bye, y'all.
Bye.